Hey, what's up? This is Joshua, daily video blog. It's a gorgeous but noisy day in Minneapolis. Let's see, what are we gonna talk about today? So I recorded an awesome video last night about how to get good at creative stuff. It was recorded in my first typography class of the semester. And then it turned out that I did not record it, or rather I have lots of video of me talking but no sound. Which sucks. But one of the things that I talked about was the necessity of being comfortable with confusion or ambiguity in creative work. So something that I advocate for pretty heavily is the idea that you should not learn the rules before you break them. That you should put off learning the rules for as long as you possibly can. Because largely the rules are conventions of taste. They're a nice little way for one group of people to prove that they are more valuable than another group of people because they have a bunch of little rules and customs around the stuff they do. And then they can justify why you should work with them and not the unwashed masses. Which is great, do you. Go get your money. But it doesn't serve you as a creative person. Learning those rules, all it does is make you part of a club, and furthermore, it makes you the least valuable person in that club because all you know is the rules of the club. You don't actually know how to do the stuff that you need to do. So my philosophy, my general teaching philosophy is don't worry about the rules. You will eventually pick them up. It is impossible to completely avoid them, but eventually you're going to pick them up. And when you pick them up, they may actually be sources of insight rather than handcuffs that tell you what to do. Okay, so you don't learn the rules. The value of not learning the rules, sorry, I burped. I am really hungry. The value of not learning the rules is that it gives you more of a position to make a original contribution to your field, because you are that much more likely to find your own voice and your own unique perspective, which is something that is sorely missing from any creative field, and yet it's the one thing we reward above all else, and yet we don't spend enough time cultivating it, or we define it through sort of essentially a different set of rules, but that set of rules is still like a straitjacket to do the same boring work that everyone else is doing. The problem though, if you sort of adopt this philosophy that you don't need to learn the rules, and that furthermore you don't worry about being good, and you don't worry about doing good work, that you simply work in a way that is engaged in the moment, and you do what you need to do, but you attempt to do the best you are capable of, but there's a very good chance you will make stuff that doesn't look like other things. You will make stuff that is weird and idiosyncratic and unique to you. And that can be very unnerving when you make something and the process led to the thing that you make, but then you look at the thing and your instincts are to say, I don't know how to feel about this. That is like one of the best places to be. If you're sure of the process that led you there, and then you don't know how to feel about it, that's basically a sign that you've done good work. So pat yourself on the back. But the thing that you have to do and have to get comfortable with, if you're going to do that, is you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You basically have to be comfortable with the idea of, I've made this weird thing. I know that it breaks conventions of taste. I know that it does not look like other stuff, or it looks like old stuff, or it looks like the future, or whatever it is. But you have to, you basically have to be willing to dwell in a kind of confusing area, and you have to accept that that's basically the price of trying to find your voice. That is going to be the price of trying to make an original contribution to a field. And if you do that and you stick with it, it will be rewarding, because you will be articulating all of the things about your taste and about your aesthetics that other people essentially have to deprogram themselves to get there. I mean, I would go so far as to say you should avoid the rules in that, yeah, if you start playing guitar, maybe learn how to tune it. Maybe. That's like as far as I would go. You know, sharpen your pencils, figure out how to do that. But after that, just play. Just dedicate time towards playing and making. Let me turn back now. And you will start to get somewhere. You will get somewhere on your own. And then when you encounter some rule about type, some convention, you're gonna have a depth of experience where that will be like crystallized, and you will look at it. You're gonna like encounter these rules, and you're gonna actually get why they work, and you're gonna be able to sort of selectively deploy them at the right time, rather than never try all of the stuff you should try, or do the obnoxious thing that people do where they're so indoctrinated by the rules that then they just do all this asinine work about breaking the rules. Just avoid learning them in the first place. If you pick up a new thing, screw the rules, screw color theory, screw all of that until you have a depth of experience, until basically you're fearless in what you're making. This came up in the typography class because typography is, especially in a school function, there's so many rules and there's so many conventions about taste and about what you should and shouldn't do, and fonts you should and should not use, and that robs you of experiences that you can have. It robs you of first-person experiences to actually learn whether that's true or not. So, you know, the person who tries the most stuff in creative terms wins, because you have a breadth of experience. You actually know whether the rule holds true or whether it's actually a really unfortunate rule. You know, I hate the one about don't use 2 sans serifs on the same page. That's dumb as shit. Use 5 if you need to. So what am I trying to say? So, you know, if you're gonna do that, just be comfortable with confusion. Be comfortable with the feeling of, I'm not sure how I feel about this. You know, maybe you'll never know how you feel about it, but at the very least, you'll know that it was 100% you. And that's probably the greatest contribution that you can make. All right, thanks for watching.